What is good, YouTube? Voice you here with a video on the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So, there's some information going around about Doctor Strange 3 Doomsday Battle World from the most reliable source in the game, Alex Perez from the Cosmic Circus. As I've said multiple times for years on this channel, he is literally the only scooper who doesn't really call himself a scooper. He just drops information he hears. And he got the most information correct on Deadpool and Wolverine, literally teased pretty much everything that happened in Loki Season 2. So he's a very credible source. And he doesn't have a Patreon or an OnlyFans or anything like that, or like the other scoopers have. So very credible person. So if you are new around here, make sure to subscribe to never miss any Marvel, DC, Kaiju, Monsterverse, pop culture-based content that I try to deliver on a daily basis. You could subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, and let me know, what are you most looking forward to? The huge time ahead for Marvel, so let's go ahead. And this is from an article on the Cosmic Circus. It's another Q&A that was done on Discord. So, Avengers, Doomsday, and Secret Wars. Will RDJ Doom be recast after Secret Wars? I think this is pretty obvious. I think most characters will be recast. Alex said, I think so, because the Earth's RDJ's Doom comes from isn't 616, so there's a high chance he'll be recast. So Doom is supposed to be introduced in the post-credits scene for the Fantastic Four movie. But let's be honest, that's been rumored for years since before Robert Downey Jr. even agreed to come on board. So that's not new information. It's realistically just Alex reaffirming what people already think. Hey Alex, any movement on the story for Doomsday and Secret Wars? The story they have in mind has already been outlined. They're just polishing the final details that connect the outline, which is interesting. As we know, they're supposed to be starting shooting early next year, so the script pretty much should be bang on. Then he was asked the question, how big a role can we expect Pedro Pascal, Reed Richards, considering all the projects he's doing? Alex said, for these films, I'd say as big as Rocket Raccoon in Infinity War and Endgame. The reason why is that he's definitely going to be one of the main faces in these films, but he's not something like a core member of Avengers in their own film. That's pretty predictable. Then he got another question. Hey, any chance the Avengers film get delayed to allow current storylines to wrap up before everything accumulates in Avengers? Alex had a pretty bold statement here. I'm sorry to say they can't and won't. The logistics of for these films, trying to get every cast together essentially now or never at this point, but they're doing everything they can to make sure that these next films have a level of interconnective tissue that will bring the characters up to speed for the next Avengers film. The projects I'm hearing that have this protocol active are Captain America Brave New World. Remember, the post-credit scene essentially is going to be Nick Fury recruiting the new Avengers, Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four, The First Steps, Ironheart, Spider-Man, Shang-Chi, and Vision. Any other characters I haven't mentioned are because their arcs are to be introduced in that becoming Avengers film, like Captain Marvel, Ant-Man, Miss Marvel, Hawkeye, She-Hulk, or just simply aren't included as a viable player in this story, as far as I know. Interesting. Hey Alex, thanks for doing this once again. Will the Avengers assemble before Doom's War, and who will be on the team? Doom War, I hope you mean Doomsday, and this is to my understanding, they're going to start to prepare for something that's coming, but they aren't exactly aware of what the threat is yet. Hi Alex, hope you're doing well. Given all the characters introduced in Phase 4 and 5, are any character interactions we haven't seen yet? Are they looking forward to ADD, ASW? Alex, that I know of, Benedict Cumberbatch, Dr. Stephen Strange, with Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Victor Von Doom, will shatter universes. This will feature some of the most important sequences in the multiversal saga. That I know of, Hugh Jackman, Wolverine, and Mark Ruffalo need to have an extended one-on-one. That I know of, Deadpool and Thor, I would love to see the incorporated with the running gag about Deadpool signaling the audience that he's going to die because Thor's not there. But then he sees Thor and worries that he may die sooner because of what he saw in Deadpool and Wolverine. Council Reed was an idea I heard tossed around. Lots of Reed Richards praise, plus the opportunity for the OG to return. Obviously, the one of the Foxverse. Tobey Maguire, Peter Parker with Hugh Jackman, Wolverine is probably going to be every Marvel's fancy going into Secret Wars. I don't really care for that, if I'm honest. I think the whole Tobey thing's done with now. I know they're doing everything in their power to make this interaction and more legacy characters interaction as a reality. Yeah, because they make more money if they have these cameos. Let's be honest. But it has to be something meaningful like it was when we saw the Resistance and Deadpool Wolverine, and not just through in somewhere sequence that's meant to be a one and done. I want to clarify, all these interactions are currently just ideas. So Alex isn't saying this is happening. I've seen on Twitter and I've seen all over the place these scenes are locked in. No, he's saying, yo, this could happen. He's not actually saying it does happen. He's like, yo, this is an idea. It's not something that can be easily confirmed to be happening this far out in advance. Yes, and Alex doesn't actually confirm anything, but I guarantee a lot of people will be confirming a lot of stuff that comes up in this. So there was another question. Do you think we're going to see multiple small groups in Avengers Doomsday, or does most of the cast stay together in the movie? I know at one point there was an idea of a bunch of smaller group fighting different Kang variants. Alex, I think Doomsday will have smaller groupings. Interesting. Hey, Alex, I hope you're doing well. Do you know what Marvel Studio and Disney are releasing November the 6th, 2026? And Alex's response was, I've heard multiple things about this date. The last one I heard was Shang-Chi 2, but that's just something that's unconfirmed at this current date. Will all the loose ends of Phase 4 and 5 be finally fulfilled? I.e. Dane Whitman's Ebony Blade, The Judgment of 616 by Ashrim, The Bangles of Kamala, The Ten Rings, Shang-Chi, and countless other setups. Alex, no, definitely not all of them. The most you'll get is The Bangles with Kamala. Yeah, but as much as I say Shang-Chi movie sucked, they do need, to go wherever they want to go with the Ten Rings storyline. 10 Rings are so important, we have to physically see it being important. Another question. Earth 96283. Is there any chance we see the original Fantastic Four in Secret Wars, even though in Deadpool and Wolverine, Johnny died, rest of the team impaled to be died? No, they didn't. I don't know if we see the original cast entirely. I know the main wish is the original Reed Richards, but that's it. God, Alex gets a lot of questions. How much of Avengers Secret Wars taken from Secret Wars comic are the Beyonders involved? It's a backbone, but I think of it like Infinity War, how they adapt the storyline. It's a version with many variations. Pretty much. Another question. Hi, Alex. Hope you're doing well. The only storylines we check for Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars, juicy involvement of Doom. Alex, time runs out. Secret Wars, Doomsday, Avengers Forever. Are they still going to get the multiverse Master of Evil Doomsday in addition to Doom? Alex, I have no comment. When I mentioned them, it was because they were the main villains of a comic that I was told was part of the backbone they were incorporating for these movies. But I have no idea if they'd be the main villains of Doomsday, but it would be a good idea if they were there, because they're replacing the villains that were going to be in Kang's Dynasty with Ramatut, Immortus, and Satorium. Will Avengers Doomsday end with the creation of Battleworld? That's certainly a possibility. The final incursion, perhaps, or maybe you already know what Battleworld is. If all the time and space is destroyed, what would be the only place that exists outside of time and can serve as a location? Battleworld. Hi, Alex. With Doom coming so sudden, how do you think they'll build it and market much? I want to start by saying I'm so glad you asked this. I was initially concerned about how they would take a character that is barely established, present in Fantastic Four movie, to become the biggest villain of the arc in less than a year. But if they go for what they want for Doom in the movie, they have a fantastic explanation that's not only sets him up perfectly for why we see him in Doomsday, but also places him in the position where we could easily become one of the most justifiable antagonistic in Marvel. Maybe even more so than Thanos. If you really want to know why in Latvia the flowers die in summer, then you already know. So a few more questions talking about Toby, Nicolas Cage, Ghost Rider in discussions, but yes, the idea is to have them appear very least in Secret Wars. Who do you think the old Marvel characters could make it out of Secret Wars? For example, Hulk, Thor, etc. Too early to say, especially if the plan is to reboot the 616 universe, where all those characters exist under one roof. And that's pretty much it for the part where he talks about what he's heard in Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. He's not even saying it's confirmed or verified. He's just saying this is information. So I'll leave the article link down below. Pretty interesting read. He says one more thing. I know the question has been asked a few times before, but I want to try to make an accurate version. Do you really think the multiverse saga will end in 2026, not in 2028 for the 20th MCU anniversary? Do you think there only be 2 Avenger movies and not a third? Alex responds with, it's what they're going for. No changes as of yet. So pretty cool information. Let me know what you guys think down below, and I will catch you in another video very soon, guys. Catch you later.